How's it going, everyone? Austin Honecker here. I just want to come on here for a while and give them a review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite from tonight, which is August 25th, 2021. I gotta say, it was awesome from start to finish. For the matches, match one, it was Orange Cassidy versus Matt Hardy. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Orange Cassidy went over with a roll-up. Match 2, it was the Lucha Brothers, which are Rey Fenix and Pena El Cerro Miedo, versus the Varsity Blondes, which are Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison, in a tag team eliminator match. That was a great match, but the ending to it, the Lucha Brothers went over cause Rey Fenix pinned Griff Garrison with the assisted package pile driver from Pena El Cerro Miedo and Rey Fenix. Well, after the match, the Elite, before the match, the Elite, which are Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, Doc Gallows, Carl Anderson, and Brandon Cutler came out and sat on stage. That was cool. And after the match, the Jurassic Express, which are Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, came out of the crowd and came into the ring, while the Elite, which are Matt and Nick Jackson, Doc Gallows, Carl Anderson, and Brandon Cutler, came down to the ring. The Lucha Brothers and the Jurassic Express shook each other's hands and wished each other the best of luck in their match on AEW Rampage this Friday. And the Young Bucks, which are Matt and Nick Jackson, came in the ring and shoved the Jurassic Express into the Lucha Brothers. Well, then the Young Bucks got out of the ring and then got on the ring apron. And as that was going on, Pena El Cerro Miedo and Luchasaurus attacked the Young Bucks with, Pena El Cerro Miedo attacked Matt Jackson with a super kick, and Luchasaurus attacked Nick Jackson with a tail whip and knocked them both down off the apron. And then Rey Fenix and Jungle Boy done a tope suicida onto the Elite and everything. And then the Elite, and then the Jurassic Express and the Lucha Brothers stood tall and everything. That was cool. But Marco Stunt was a part of that brawl too as well. That was cool of him too. Match 3, it was Jamie Hayter versus Red Velvet. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Jamie Hayter went over with a running clothesline. Well, after the match, Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter were beating the shit out. Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter were beating the shit out of Red Velvet, and Jamie Hayter was getting ready to knock Britt Baker. Jamie Hayter was getting ready to hold Red Velvet down so Britt Baker could execute the curb stomp to Red Velvet on the AEW Women's title. But before she got the chance, Chris Statlander came out, because Rebel was still in the ring as well, but Chris Statlander came out and attacked Jamie Hayter and Rebel, knocked them out of the ring, and then Britt Baker and Chris Statlander were staring each other down, and Chris Statlander was getting ready to beat the shit out of Britt Baker, but Britt Baker retreated and everything, and then Britt Baker, Rebel, and Jamie Hayter were outside the ring staring Chris Statlander and Red Velvet down, while Chris Statlander and Red Velvet were in the ring staring down Britt Baker, Rebel, and Jamie Hayter and everything. That was cool, and that was after the match, by the way. Match 4, it was Jon Moxley, Eddie Kingston, and Darby Allin versus the Wingmen, which are Ryan Nemeth, Cesar Bononi, and J.D. Drake. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Jon Moxley, Eddie Kingston, and Darby Allin went over cause Darby Allin pinned J.D. Drake with the coffin drop. Well, after the match, because Sting, Jon Moxley, and Eddie Kingston were out in the crowd beating down the wingmen and everything, but Daniel Garcia came out and attacked Darby Allin from behind and beat the shit out of him, and Sting and Eddie Kingston came in the ring to Darby Allin's aid, but Daniel Garcia retreated, and Jon Moxley followed Sting and Eddie Kingston and Tove getting in the ring. So Daniel Garcia was out of the ring and was on stage staring down Sting, Jon Moxley, Eddie Kingston, and Darby Allin in the ring. Well, Sting, Jon Moxley, and Eddie Kingston were standing tall while Darby Allin was laying out and everything. That was cool. Match 5, it was the Gun Club, which are Billy, Austin, and Colton Gunn, versus the Factory, which are QT Marshall, Aaron Solo, and Nick Comoroto. That was a great match, but the ending to it, the Gun Club went over because Colton Gunn pinned QT Marshall with a small package. And by the way, the match between Jon Moxley, Eddie Kingston, and Darby Allin versus the Wingmen was a great match as well. But moving forward, match 6, which was and match 6, which was the main event, it was Malachi Black versus Brock Anderson. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, Malachi Black went over with the Black Mass. Well, after the match, Malachi Black left the ring, and Arn Anderson got in the ring to tend to his son Brock Anderson, while Malachi Black got a steel chair and got in the ring, and Arn Anderson dared Malachi Black to fight him, but without the steel chair. So Malachi Black put the steel chair down, and Malachi Black tried to attack Arn Anderson with the Black Mass, but Arn Anderson blocked it, and Malachi Black executed a low blow to Arn Anderson, and then Malachi Black executed the Black Mass on Arn Anderson and laid him out. Then Lee Johnson came out, and Malachi Black retreated, and Lee Johnson, as he came out to the ring, he was tending to both Arn Anderson and his son Brock Anderson, while Malachi Black was looking on and everything. That was cool. And that was after the match, by the way. Now, besides the matches, Malachi Black cut a promo talking about pretty much saying that Brock Anderson was an idiot and he should have listened to his dad of not coming face to face with him and everything, and was talking about how he was going to demolish Brock Anderson, and was saying that he was going to give Brock Anderson a free pass to walk out of the ring and not face him and everything. And if he doesn't follow through that, he was going to demolish him and everything, which that was cool. Chris Jericho came out and was talking about how it's a big week for AEW and everybody's having a good week but him, because last week he promised that he would beat MJF, but he didn't because he tapped out from the Salt of the Earth, and ever since he's lost to MJF, it's been really hurting him, and he's lost lack of sleep and everything due to it, and was saying that he wasn't going to give up until he fights MJF again and actually beats the shit out of him and then Chris Jericho was saying that, called out MJF and was saying, MJF, how about you give me one more match? And I'll even add a stipulation to it. If you give me the match at All Out, and if I lose, I will no longer be an in-ring competition, and I will stick to doing commentary on AEW Rampage and occasionally AEW Dynamite. So come on out here, MJF. So MJF comes out, and MJF has a microphone. He says, Christopher, 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 this is getting embarrassing for you, bud. I've beat you not once, not twice, but 3 times. And I did say that if I beat you again, which I did, and I made your ass tap out, that you would have to leave me alone. But also, but also at the same time, making you tap out wasn't enough. So I will end your career. And if you want your match at All Out, you got it. And because I will end your career, because I'm better than you and you know it. So Christopher, you might want to rethink this, because you lose to me, your career's done. And everything. And then MJF left, and then Chris Jericho was looking on and everything. That was cool. The Varsity Blondes which are Brian Pillman Jr., Griff Garrison, and Julia Hart, cut a promo, and Griff Garrison was pretty much saying, Lucha Brothers, you all may be blood, but that doesn't always mean that's family, because us, the Varsity Blondes, we may not be blood, but we're still family. And tonight, we are going to beat you, and we are going to go on to advance in the AEW Tag Team Eliminator Tournament, and we're going to get our title shot once again at All Out. And then Brian Pillman Jr. got on the. Then Brian Pillman Jr. was saying, just like Griff Garrison said, we may not be blood, but we're family. And tonight, Lucha Brothers, we're going to prove that, and we're going to beat you and advance in the AEW Tag Team Eliminator Tournament, and we're going to go on to face the Young Bucks in a steel cage match at All Out for the AEW Tag Team titles, and we're going to beat the Young Bucks at that. And everything. That was cool. Andrade El Idolo and Chavo Guerrero Jr. cut a promo. Well, Chavo Guerrero Jr. was saying, Pac, you think you're the greatest? Well, you're not. I will admit, you are great. But so is Andrade El Idolo. And at All Out, Andrade El Idolo is going to beat you, and he's going to prove that he is the better man. Then Andrade El Idolo was saying, Pac, come September 5th at All Out, I will see you then, and I will prove to you how great Andrade El Idolo is, and everything. That was cool. The Dark Order, which are Evil Uno. The Dark Order, which are Evil Uno, John Silver, Alex Reynolds, 5, 10, and Colt Cabana cut a promo, and Evil Uno was saying, you know, for the past few weeks, the Dark Order have had we've had many disagreements, and that happens. And none of the other members of the Dark Order were by mine and Stu Grayson's side when we fought the Good Brothers for the Impact Wrestling Tag Team titles. But that's okay, because the Dark Order is still a family. And Alex Reynolds was laughing, and Evil Uno said, so you got something to say, Alex? Alex Reynolds said, yes, as a matter of fact, I do. I'm going to tell you one thing right now, Uno. Just because your stupid name is Evil Uno, doesn't mean you're the leader of the Dark Order. And it's you and Stu Grayson's fault of what happened to Hangman Adam Page. Because we have not seen from Hangman or heard from Hangman since this has happened. Then Colt Cabana got in the middle of it and said, hey, hey, they were doing the right thing. Hey, Uno and Grayson were doing the right thing, and they were respecting Hangman Adam Page's wishes to not help him and everything, to not help him. And then Evil Uno was saying, all right, Alex, you want to put it that way? Well, how about you go back and live under the shadow of John Silver? And then Alex Reynolds got pissed, and then Evil Uno was trying to apologize to Alex Reynolds, but Alex Reynolds said, no, you know what, Uno? I'm done with this shit. Wake up your mind. Because I'm done with this shit. I'm done with the Dark Order. So, see you later. Then Alex Reynolds left, and John Silver followed Alex Reynolds. And then 5 was saying, man, I thought you said we were a family. Then 5 left, and then Colt Cabana and 10 were there looking on like all confused and everything as well. And Evil Uno was upset because of the comments he made out of being angry and everything. That was cool. Tony Schiavone interviewed CM Punk, and Tony Schiavone was saying to CM Punk, what made you decide to come back to professional wrestling, and why AEW? And CM Punk said, Tony, I came back to professional wrestling and I chose AEW because there are several young talent I want to work with. That being Ray Phoenix, Penel Cerro Miedo, Brian Pillman Jr., and Jungle Boy. But first, I want Darby Allin. And Darby, you're great. You're reckless. You like to hurt yourself. Well, Darby, come all out. You're going to get CM Punk. And the question is, can CM Punk still go? Well, we will find out on Sunday, September 5th, at All Out. And everything, and then CM Punk was getting ready to leave, and then and CM Punk was saying, well, CM Punk did say in that interview, he said, I am going to end the nickname of the voice of the voiceless because you all have a voice. But anyway, CM Punk, after he got done, he was getting ready to leave, and CM Punk said, oh, one more thing. I just want to give a shout out to my beautiful wife sitting at home. I love you, April. Then CM Punk left and was interacting with the crowd and everything, and then CM Punk and Tony Schiavone gave each other a hug and everything, which that was cool. Miro cut a promo and was saying that, I didn't forgive Fuego del Sol for taking the easy way into coming to AEW. But God got a hold of me and said, Miro, you need to forgive. You need to forgive Fuego del Sol. So I did. And because I am the Redeemer. And I am also going to be the great champion that my hot wife deserves. And I'm going to honor God every day of my life. But there's one person, but I am a forgiving person. But one person I am not going to forgive, I don't forgive, is Eddie Kingston. So give me the Mad King Eddie Kingston, or I'm going to burn this place down. And everything. That was cool. AEW announced some of the contestants in the 21-woman Casino Battle Royal to determine the number one contender for the AEW Women's title. And the contestants so far in the 21-woman Casino Battle Royal are Nyla Rose, Thunder Rosa, The Bunny, Big Swole, Julia Hart, Ty Conti, Diamante, Penelope Ford, and Red Velvet. And there'll be more to go. But which that was cool. Alex Marvez interviewed Ty Conti, and Alex Marvez was asking Ty Conti, he said, Ty, you have just been announced to be a contestant in the 21-woman casino battle royal at All Out. How do you feel about that, and how do you feel about the problems with the Dark Order? Well, Ty Conti was getting ready to talk, but the Bunny came along and the Bunny was saying, "Oh, Ty, why are you associating yourself with them losers, with those losers of the Dark Order? Because they cannot even get along with themselves, so why are you associating with them? So how about I give you a proposition? Here's this contract. Come join the HFO. If you join the FHO, think about it. We could be an unstoppable tag team, and we can work together in the 21-woman casino battle royal. So what do you say, Ty?" So Ty Conti takes the contract and she rips it up and says, "How about no?" So the Bunny slaps Ty Conti in the face, and then Ty Conti punches the Bunny in the face, and Ty Conti and the Bunny are beating the shit out of each other, but all the referees came and broke it up and everything. That was cool. Dax Harwood cut a promo saying, I'm gonna give you all an update on the injury the status of Cash Wheeler. And the update I can give you is he don't hardly have any feeling in his arm from what happened to him at Fight for the Fallen. And also, I cannot say this for sure, but FTR may be coming back full-time. FTR may be coming back part-time. Don't know yet. But FTR will not die. And then Cash Wheeler came along and said, I may be injured at the moment with my arm after what happened at Fight for the Fallen, but from how I was raised and the way I was brought up, I was taught that if I get hurt, keep fighting, and that's what I'm going to do. So me and Dax Harwood here, we're not going to quit until we win this fight and everything. That was cool. The Elite, which are Kenny Omega, Don Callis, Brandon Cutler, and Michael Nakazawa, came out, and Tony Schiavone, Tony Schiavone interviewed the Elite, which are Kenny Omega, Don Callis, Brandon Cutler, and Michael Nakazawa, and Tony Schiavone was announcing that at All Out it was going to be Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage for the AEW title. Well, Don Callis took the microphone from Tony Schiavone, and Don Callis was saying, "Hold on just a second, Tony. I'm gonna say right now, at All Out, Kenny Omega is gonna dethrone Christian Cage and retain the AEW title." Well, Don Callis was getting ready to talk more shit, but Christian Cage came out, and Christian Cage came out with a microphone and said, "Wow, I didn't even understand anything of what you just said, Don Callis. But anyway, let me roll some footage." And Christian Cage rolled footage of IWA in Canada years ago when Christian Cage made his debut against Lance Storm, and the promoter of IWA Canada was saying that he was saying in that video that Don Callis didn't want fired Christian Cage Don Callis didn't want Christian Cage booked anymore because he wanted the future, which is Kenny Omega, and come to find out Kenny Omega was 10 years old. And then Chris Jericho said while on commentary that Christian Cage made his debut at All Out at IWA Canada and got fired the same day because Don Callis didn't want him anymore. Well, Christian Cage was saying after the footage rolled, Christian Cage said, now I know why I got fired after the first day at IWA Canada when I first started. Because Don Callis, you are a carny piece of shit. And Christian Cage got in the ring and Christian Cage was talking more shit towards Don Callis and Kenny Omega. And then Don Callis was saying, Christian Cage, Don Callis was talking more shit towards Christian Cage, and then Kenny Omega got on the microphone and was saying, it's quite sad, Christian, because I was already a star at 10 years old, but while you were just starting at 20 years old, and everything. And then Don Callis was saying, Christian, at All Out, Kenny Omega is going to dethrone you and retain the AEW title. Well, Christian Cage was going on talking more shit towards Don Callis and Kenny Omega and everything, and then Christian Cage was getting ready to attack Don Callis, but Kenny Omega intervened, and then Christian Cage and Kenny Omega punched each other in the face, and then Brandon Cutler tried to get involved, and then Christian Cage punched Brandon Cutler in the face. Then Brandon Cutler took that body spray and sprayed it in Christian Cage's eyes, and then Kenny Omega, Don Callis, Brandon Cutler, and Michael Nakazawa all beat Christian Cage down and everything. Started holding him down, beating the shit out of him and everything. And then Frankie Kazarian came out, and the Elite, then Kenny Omega, Don Callis, Brandon Cutler, and Michael Nakazawa retreated while Christian Cage and Frankie Kazarian stood in the ring and everything. Which that was cool. Jon Moxley cut a promo saying that he got a contract in the mail from Tokyo, Japan, from the promotion New Japan Pro Wrestling, and none of those guys in New Japan Pro Wrestling had the balls to challenge me. So, but one man had the balls to challenge me, and he is none other than Satoshi Kojima. And it's quite sad that an old man would step up and fight me when the others didn't have the balls to fight me. So, Satoshi Kojima, at All Out, I will see you on September 5th at All Out, and I will squeeze your head until your eyeballs pop out of you, and I will beat your ass all over Chicago, Illinois on September 5th at All Out and everything. That was cool. Dan Lambert and the Men of the Year, which are Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page, cut a promo, and Dan Lambert was talking about, last week on AEW Dynamite, I came out and hurt all the AEW fans' feelings with the truth. Because AEW is nothing but a garbage promotion, and I, for one, despise it. Because you have a high school student proposing to his girlfriend, you have a guy who is the combination of Marilyn Manson and Tony Hawk, and you have a guy who wears a jean jacket and blue jeans and sunglasses and is a lazy sloth. That's not wrestling. That's circus bullshit. And then you have these AEW fans who are sensitive crybabies because of what I said. Well, newsflash. None of these wrestlers in AEW are great. Because all they do is sit around and drink their coffee, watch TikTok videos, this, that, and the third. But I found two men on the AEW roster who are great. And they are the Men of the Year, MMA fighter turned professional wrestler Scorpio Sky, and karate, judo, and jiu-jitsu fighter turned professional wrestler All Ego Ethan Page. And the plan for all of us is we're going to take out everyone in AEW, and we're going to take control of AEW and make professional wrestling great again and everything. Which that was cool. And Alex Marvez interviewed Arn Anderson, and Alex Marvez was saying, Arn Anderson, tonight your son, Brock Anderson, will be facing Malachi Black tonight in the main event of AEW Dynamite. What's your thoughts? Arn Anderson was saying, well, Alex, Brock is hard-headed, just like he's old man. And I tried to tell him not to go after Malachi Black, but he won't listen. So I got to let him do what he needs to do, and I would die for him, and apparently he would die for me. But he's making a big mistake by going after Malachi Black because he's going to end up getting hurt. But like I said, I have to just sit back, let it happen, because there's nothing I can do. But my son Brock Anderson will do his best to bring on the fight. But I have bad feelings about it and everything. That was cool. Now, besides all that, Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur But besides all that, Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur done commentary throughout the whole show. They done awesome as usual. And Paul White done guest commentary along with Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur during the match between the Gun Club versus the Factory. Paul White done great on guest commentary. The referees for the event were Rick Knox, Paul Turner, Bryce Remsburg, and Aubrey Edwards. Okay. Bryce Remsburg refereed the match between Orange Cassidy versus Matt Hardy. Rick Knox refereed the match between the Lucha Brothers versus the Varsity Blondes. Paul Turner refereed the match between Jamie Hayter versus Red Velvet. Bryce Remsburg refereed the match between Darby Allin, Jon Moxley, and Eddie Kingston versus the Wingmen. That was Bryce Remsburg, by the way. Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between the Gun Club versus the Factory. And Paul Turner refereed the match between Malachi Black versus Brock Anderson. All the referees done awesome as usual. Now, the match card that's been announced so far on the match card that's been announced so far on All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite next Wednesday, it's going to be Brian Cage versus Powerhouse Hobbs, Orange Cassidy versus Jack Evans, and FTR, which are Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, versus Proud and Powerful, which are Santana and Ortiz. But besides the matches that have been announced so far, Jim Ross will be conducting a the match card for next week's All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite that's been announced so far, it's going to be Brian Cage versus Powerhouse Hobbs, Orange Cassidy versus Jack Evans, and FTR, which are Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, versus Proud and Powerful, which are Santana and Ortiz. And the match, and besides the also that what's been announced besides the matches so far, Jim Ross will be conducting an in-ring interview with Chris Jericho, and Tony Schiavone will be conducting a sit-down interview with MJF. So the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite looks like it's going to be awesome next week. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to it, and I can't wait to see it. And the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage on Friday night, it's going to be the Lucha Brothers, which are Rey Fenix and Pena El Cerro Miedo, versus the Jurassic Express, which are Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, in the AEW Tag Team Eliminator Tournament final match. Christian Cage and Frankie Kazarian versus Kenny Omega and Brandon Cutler, and The Bunny versus Ty Conti. So the match card on AEW Rampage this Friday, it's going to be looks like it's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it, and I can't wait to see it myself. See it as well. And the match card that's been announced so far for AEW's All Out 3, it's going to be Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage for the AEW title, the Young Bucks versus the winner of the AEW Tag Team Eliminator Tournament in a steel cage match for the AEW Tag Team titles, Britt Baker versus Chris Statlander for the AEW Women's title, a 21-woman casino battle royal to determine the number one contender for the AEW Women's title, Paul White versus QT Marshall, Chris Jericho versus MJF, and the stipulation is if Chris Jericho loses, he has to retire from in-ring competition. CM Punk versus Darby Allin. And wait, hold on a second. The match card that's been announced so far for AEW's All Out 3, it's going to be Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage for the AEW title, the Young Bucks versus the winner of the AEW Tag Team Eliminator Tournament in a steel cage match for the AEW Tag Team titles, Britt Baker versus Chris Statlander for the AEW Women's title, a 21-woman casino battle royal to determine the number one contender for the AEW Women's title, Paul White versus QT Marshall, Chris Jericho versus MJF, and the stipulation is if Chris Jericho loses, he'll have to retire from in-ring competition. CM Punk versus Darby Allin, Jon Moxley versus Satoshi Kojima, and Pac versus Andrade El Idolo. So the match card for All Elite Wrestling's All Out 3 looks like it's going to be awesome. I can't wait for it. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here I'm looking forward to All Out. Can't wait to see it. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here for a while and give them a review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite from tonight, which is August 25th, 2021. Like I said, it was awesome from start to finish. And with that being said, my name is Austin Honecker, and I will catch your ass down the road. Peace out.